Let's go to work, boys.
Let's go to work.
It's protein that builds muscle.
Why do you need to be inflamed? Your inflammation is coming from the amount of carbohydrates that you're eating.
People are going to talk. I'm going to yell. That's basically the idea behind it. I can't give them an inch. You can't have even the slightest bit of integrity. It's based on money, fear, and misinterpretation. That is really what this has to do. Money, we obviously know that's a common culprit here. And typically, I've said this a million times now, I'm going to keep saying it because I think a lot of people don't actually believe it. But basically what I've said is to fold that easily.
Well then, if there's section in the diet, then why are you walking around feeling like crap?
That's the idea. And to spread it as fast as possible and as effectively as possible.
So,
yep. That's exactly what Olivia said.
Three voices, one truth, from Canada, Ireland, Netherlands. This is a tribe. Tribe. We rise, we speak, we thrive. Tribe. Real talk, real lives. Voices of the tribe, we break the chains tonight. No noise, no lies, just me in real life. Stories from the fire, truth in every line. We talk, we fight, we rise. The tribe is alive. We walk the path, they told us not to try. 1,000 lives rebuilt on stake and strength inside. Cravings to clarity, from chaos to control. We feed the body right, and the truth feeds the soul. Across the map, across the doubt, bring receipts, can't tune out. Results don't lie, they amplify. That's why the world listens when the tribe rolls live. Real story, real change, real me, no shame. Truth rising, wounds healing, lies falling, we revealing. Voices of the tribe, we cut through the noise. 3 nations, 1 mission, reclaiming our choice. Held in our hand, fire in our stride. This is the podcast where the truth survives. Listens.
It is Sunday. We're talking peptides. Good, bad, we don't know. We're going to talk about it. We got some cancer issues to talk about. Somebody's special guest. We have a special guest today here. We are getting into things. It is the meat of the matter.
Is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking...
I can't even look at a carbohydrate.
Now that I think about it, we probably would.
You know, that it doesn't make sense.
I was tired of the guessing games, faking health, playing diet names, low fat life, vegan soul, but deep inside I didn't feel whole. Then came fire, then came fat, steak on the plate, I bounced right back. No more crashing, no more drag.
You're literally treating your diet like a fucking religion.
Look forward to talking about this recent controversy. I've already been doing it for over 2 weeks now.
Your fiber intake is fucking zero.
There is a constant in the calculation.
It is the most toxic fucking diet I have ever seen. Ever. It's not healthy. It is far from fucking healthy. Okay? It is the least fucking healthiest thing you could ever do for yourself.
And we are live. Welcome in to the meat of the matter, everybody. We have a special guest today. Peter's taking a little break. He's on a holiday. So we have the man, the myth, the legend. He takes care of all our music, and we really appreciate him. His name's Byron Funk. He is at Carnivore Beats on YouTube and on TikTok. And we really appreciate you being here today. Byron, how you doing, my man?
Well, I'm good, thanks.
Right on. Mark, how we doing, buddy?
All good, sir. All good. Nice to see you again, Byron.
Very good. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me here.
So yeah, today, guys, we got some. You know, we want to firstly thank Eddie Goki for coming on. We had an impromptu live. I believe it was Thursday, maybe Wednesday. I can't remember. These days are flying by. But we had a great conversation, calling out some stuff. He was doing a good job about dismantling this nonsense about carbohydrates. So that is out now on our channel. If you want to check out the full interview, go there. Always great to talk to Eddie. He's been on a couple times, and we appreciate him muchly. So, boys, today peptides. You know, from what we've heard with everything, you know, peptides. Now it seems there's all these walks. Every community, every group of people are talking peptides like they're these miracles. Like that, we know one glucagon like peptide 1. Is it a miracle? We might disagree with it, but now they seem to be all the rage everywhere, from the spiritual community to the vegans and vegetarians, saying these things are going to save, like enhance. What are your thoughts? Because I've got a couple things to point out. And first, actually, boys, I'm just gonna say, what is a peptide? Just a quick definition, just so people get it. A peptide is a short chain of amino acids, the same building blocks your body uses to build proteins, hormones, neurotransmitters, and tissues. Think of amino acids as Lego bricks. A peptide is a small Lego chain. A protein is a huge Lego castle. Peptides usually have about 20 to 50 amino acids linked together. Proteins have 50 plus. So saying that, we've defined a peptide. Mark, what are you thinking, buddy?
Well, the first question I would ask, because I don't know an awful lot about this area, I only know a little bit about this, but surely we can do this another way. There must be peptides in red meats. See, this is the issue I have. We're all being pushed towards these solutions, but we're not addressing the diet. Like everybody's coming out with these amazing solutions. You have the peptides, you have the TRT, you have Ozempic. This is so popular at the moment now, but nobody's looking at the diet. And this is where I just don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand. Like you always say, Tony. Like back in our ancestor days, we didn't have these problems. We didn't have these solutions.
Yeah.
So why? I'm not saying none of this works. As I said, I'm only new to this area. I'm not an expert. But like it just doesn't make any sense to me why we're actually pushing these injections on people when we could be looking at a different route. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Byron, what are your initial thoughts?
I agree with Mark. There's a lot of solutions to losing weight. There's a lot of solutions to trying to look great. But at the end of the day, how does it help you in the long term if you don't solve the underlying issue in the first place? Because it's just a matter of things are going to repeat themselves. So you might lose all the weight now today. It's the same as people have a gastric bypass. It's a short-term solution, if you want to put it that way. But at the end of the day, it's been proven and shown that even people that have had a gastric bypass have eventually put a lot of weight back on if they never solved the underlying issue in the first place. Because over time, the stomach can stretch. And then by eating the same foods that cause the same issues, how's it going to solve the problem? So I got no issues with people trying different things to help them achieve a certain goal. But if you're going to achieve that goal without solving the underlying issue, then at some point your health is still going to be at risk, because looking great is one thing, but maintaining health is a total different scenario. And I think, unfortunately, with the health industry and with everything that's going on, is that everything's about a quick fix.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's a mindset that's been programmed by the industry, and it's a mindset that's hard to kind of change and adjust, because people still want their quick fix and they don't want to hear the long-term hard solution. And that's basically resolving, why did you get there in the first place? How did you get there in the first place?
Yeah.
And what's causing the body to behave like that? Because even on the previous shows and stuff like that, it all boils down to the same thing, is that we don't seem to get to the underlying issue. Like, that's not what's getting brought up. All these medical professionals and all that, and there's some great ones, there's some great things out there, but at the same time, it's never ever talking about the underlying issue and how do we resolve the underlying issue. And that's by educating people as to what's causing the issue in the first place. Yes, do all these things that potentially can help you get there.
Yeah.
But just understand it's one road to the same destination.
Yeah.
But once you're at the destination, you need to know how to stay there.
And if you look at, like, since I've been aware of, nutrition and lifestyle factors, once, like, my warning signals go up when it's who is bringing this to the table, who's benefiting from these miracle peptides, who is it? And if you look at the people that are presenting these, they're not saying fix your life, they're saying these will fix your life. That's what scares me. And I mean, is it pulling the cart before the horse? I don't know, because I don't know everything about peptides. I don't pretend to know everything about them. But just from what I've seen with quick fixes and miracles and stuff, my whole thing is helping people with the foundations, foundational health. Why are you having these peptides that are natural not be there in the first place? Like what you were saying, Mark, like if they're built from proteins and you're not eating enough protein, maybe that's why these peptides aren't working optimally. Now, I don't pretend to know everything. I just find this stuff is fascinating, because it seems to be this trend that's like, don't worry about anything. Just fix your life with peptides. Everything will be fine. That scares me, because now everybody's going to be talking about, oh, you must do these peptides. These are and I have an article that I found, and it was Young King Mito on Twitter. And I'm not on Twitter very often, but this came up and it was really, really cool, because I think they brought this sort of different perspective on it. And I'm going to read it, because I'm not computer tech savvy. I can't put it up on screen like most people. But anyway, I'm going to read it, and then I want to get your guys' feelings on this. Peptides, the part of biology people keep mistaking for medicine. People talk about peptides like they're some new tier of biological intelligence, when they're really fragments of a system that was never designed for enhancement at all. They exist for micro corrections, local signaling, and boundary maintenance inside a field that rules long before anyone started shipping vials on ice. The mistake isn't saying peptides are good or bad. The mistake is believing they act independently of the state they enter. A peptide cannot rescue a collapsed redox map, oxidative stress. A peptide cannot stabilize an incoherent field. A peptide cannot outrun circadian disorder, mitochondrial strain, or architectural fatigue. Basically, going back to what you were saying, Byron. A peptide only moves inside the physics you already live in. It does not write a new one. That's the line the peptide world can't cross, because it deletes the entire fantasy. Peptides only behave predictably when the underlying geometry is intact. So it goes on to say, like, give you this sort of idea. And I think it's a little bit more sciencey, but that sort of defines it. It's like you're using something when it's the foundations aren't there or the system is broken. I'd love to get your guys' take on it.
Yeah, it's like what you said, what you guys are saying. We're only painting over the cracks. We're not looking after the main problem here. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Like, I don't know much about these peptides. What did he actually do? Did he heal the heat? Did he heal the gut? Like, what exactly do they do?
Well, like a peptide would be it's like a breakdown of a protein into something to do something. So, like glucagon, like peptide 1.
Okay, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the carnivore diet does the exact same thing.
Yeah, right.
Exact same thing.
Goes over, people. That's it. Carnivore diet.
I saw a good sentence of it. Like, your proteins are like the chapters, and your peptides are like the sentences that make up the small things. Now, obviously, when you're eating proteins and you're eating decent meat, you're obviously going to get all the natural protein peptides with regards to creatine, all that type of stuff. And your body also produces peptides. But at the same time, you need to be eating the correct foods to not damage your system in the first place. And even the clients I had before that had operations where you had these injections put into your knees and that to help rejuvenate the cartilages and all that type of stuff, it's still all, at the end of the day, it's temporary fixes because it's an external. It's not, to me, it's not natural. If something you have to force on the body that's not natural, to me, I just see it as it's a temporary solution. If you don't solve the underlying issue, are you going to keep going back for that? Are you going to keep trying to do that? And just, you don't know what the consequences are going to be or the side effects are, because everybody's system works differently. And at the end of the day, if you're not solving what's broken, then pretty much like you're saying, Mark, you're filling the cracks, and that's what you're going to be doing. Is just keep trying to fill the cracks up. But at some point, the foundation's going to break.
And I'd love to
go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
I'd love to hear what people in the chats are kind of commenting on it. It's like Fleur mentions this. She said, like, am I expecting a peptide to fix a lifestyle pattern that I haven't addressed? And what I kind of maybe get a little controversial here, but it's like the argument from a vegan diet saying supplementing is better, right? Like, why do you need to supplement if it was the perfect diet for a human? Like, it doesn't make sense. So are these peptides, I'm not saying they're not beneficial. I don't know. I haven't tried everyone, but I'm hearing these peptides like K2568 and peptide blah, like, you can't keep up with the names. They're coming. Are they new peptides? Are they, what's going on? And I think, we look at bodybuilders, and Mark and Byron, in your guys' field in the fitness industry, are steroids enhancements? Are they necessary? Right? Like, people, if I want to be a bodybuilder, do I need to do steroids? There was a stigma back in the 70s and 80s. I'm sure in the underground bodybuilding circles, that was a thing. If you want to compete professionally anyway, you would need to do steroids to compete. Even the Olympic athletes, like, people, now the cat's out of the bag. People know that, it's almost where your sport is at, you must follow suit to compete. So are these peptides the same kind of thing where, you're taking a foreign or even a synthetic substance to do something to your body to enhance it? Now, that opens up a whole new realm. And I mean, I'm not. But see,
that's the thing, Tony. Like, we're taking these peptides or whatever they are, drugs or whatever they are, to enhance how you look. Are they gonna help you from a health perspective, from a health standpoint? This is the question I want to know, because again, I don't know much about this. But but when I think about it logically, you're taking an enhancement or a drug to be healthy. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. That's where I'm confused.
Yeah. I mean, the same. I don't know a lot, but based on some of the research that I've done, just on the carnivore part of it, you're eating, like, if you look at some of the stuff, the foods that we're eating, the natural foods that have got natural peptides in them, you're eating them and your body's consuming them, but your body knows how to use them because it's your DNA is programmed that way. Yeah. But exactly that, you don't know where some of the stuff's coming from. And unfortunately, if it's foreign, will it affect your DNA? Will it affect your body, will it be a long-term fix? Will your body reject it? Because we're all different. Like what's going to work for somebody might not work for the next person. And then when it doesn't work, then they get all disappointed and it becomes more of a bigger mental problem.
That's a good point, because there was something about, like, I read that, it could be a miracle for somebody and absolutely devastating for another person. So we're generalizing. Everything's generalized. Like, this does that. Ozempic is a miracle, or is it, in Krista DeWeese that we had on the show, disastrous? Like it stopped her heart. So is that the thing? And I mean, in my opinion, I don't want to start experimenting with stuff that we don't even understand. And what freaks me out is there's people that I look up to specifically in they do a post, or they do they say something, or they have a lecture. And then all of a sudden now it's like they're talking like these peptides are miracles. And it's like, I don't understand. Come on, man, really? Like you're.
Well, I'm seeing a worrying trend in my gym at the moment. There's people that are younger than me. They're in their 30s, and they're worrying about their testosterone at that age, at 30 years of age, and they're going on TRT. 30 years of age, like.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. I'm like, listen, you guys shouldn't be going through this. No, you shouldn't be anywhere near this stuff at that age. Maybe when you get a little bit older, when you're at our age, a little bit older, then you can possibly look at it. But I would only look at it if, again, you're looking after the root cause.
Yeah.
You're looking at, okay, well, how can I actually do this another way? Can I actually add more fat into my diet and see what happens? Will that improve my testosterone? Of course it will. But the problem is people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Because we've been told not to do it. Yeah. Because the information we're getting about fat in general is the wrong information. That's the issue right there. Like the issue is very, very simple. What the carnivore diet has done for an awful lot of people. Like this is where the problems are, because people are actually not listening to these stories. They're just convinced that no, this won't work for me. I can't lose weight on the carnivore diet. It's impossible. I can't improve my health in the carnivore diet. It's impossible. I have to go down this medication route. That's where we're heading at the moment.
But that's exactly it. It's like, don't worry about it. Drink Coke, eat Snickers, eat chips. You're good. Just take this. And then, and it comes down to the same thing, the quick fix mentality of the modern world. And boys, whenever we mess with Mother Nature, how's that done for us? How's that done for the human species? Every single time we think we know better. And I mean, shout out to Canada for once standing up. Apparently they've stopped this lab grown clone meat thing in our government anyway, but they'll find a way. I'm not screaming out, yelling, celebrating yet, but it's just, this is the thing. It seems like there's always that evolution of, just big business that takes over and gets people to instead of just going back to what we've all done. And I'm not saying we've done the right thing. I've got a pretty good idea that we have, but getting your foundations, getting back to your natural, what we're supposed to eat in the first place. And people say it's the carnivore diet. I think it's just eating a human diet, right? Like that's kind of what my thoughts are. I mean, it seems like it's nonstop, but there's always these gimmicks. And I'm using that term loosely, but it's something to push somebody else's benefit, not ours.
Also, like with the whole online thing, recently I see obviously there's a lot of stuff that's come up, and I see some guys have posted that as well with regards to the 3D printing of food, which is like coming out big. I won't mention anything else, but some of that one particular brand of 3D printed food that's making the rounds, our company actually sells that as well for the vegan market.
Yeah.
And when I first started at the company, I took some home because it's obviously we've had that there for years. But we took some home, and let me tell you what: if you've never tasted meat in your life, you obviously won't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But if you've tasted meat, it don't taste anything like meat, even if it looks like it.
Yeah.
But even when you cook it, it doesn't change size.
Wow.
It stays the same size regardless. And one bite is one too many, because you can't even I couldn't finish it when I first tried it. I
Oh
thought, let me
man,
just
well,
eat what the vegetarians are kind of wanting if they want to be this way.
yeah,
And when you look at the ingredients, it's longer than a paragraph.
yeah.
And oh man, I took a bite of the sausage and
Good. You have balls, man. There's no way I wouldn't do that. I'll eat
Well, you know-
testicles. I'll eat balls, but that stuff, no way.
the thing is, you want to know what
Yeah,
how are people eating this? And
Yeah.
for me, it's like, okay, well, let's take some samples home, let's cook them, and
yeah. No,
it's
fair
3D
enough.
printed.
Yeah.
It looks like a sausage, but it doesn't change
Ain't no fucking
size.
sausage.
You take one bite. I couldn't even finish the bite.
Oh man.
And then the thing that looks like steak and looks like other meat, which is 3D printed as well. I'm like, okay, well, let's take a bite. You cook it, it doesn't change size. And now in your mind, you already know meat changes size when you cook it.
Yeah.
And then you take a bite of it and you can't finish eating it because you know what meat tastes like. And you know this
Yeah,
just
no kidding.
doesn't. Your body's actually telling you, please do not take this.
Oh my god.
I had a bite of a vegan sausage by accident on a barbecue once, man. I lost my shit. I was like, what in God's name is this? Like, it was like sawdust meets cilantro. Like, it was fucking disgusting. I was like, that's enough. That's the only time I've ever had one of those things. And it was by complete accident. I was like, oh, I'll have a sausage. What? Yeah. Oh my God. Well, you know what? Thanks, buddy, because you're taking one for the team there with the 3D printed.
The thing is, look, I understand from a vegetarian or vegan's point of view because obviously we sell a lot of the burger patties of this 3D printed type food and this make believe stuff. And obviously they don't know what they're tasting, but I think it's also because it's covered in sauce, so they're tasting the sauce and they think the food is good.
Yeah,
but it's actually the sauce that's
like
doing.
a baked potato. Right?
Yeah, it's the sauce that's doing the job. And then the other thing that seems to be making the round all of a sudden I've been having on the weekend coming across on the social media is the GLP-1. And the thing like we were talking about earlier is that it's showing GLP-1, take that. And there's persons showing how they've lost so much weight in 1 week. I'm like, come on. First it's 30 days. Now all of a sudden it's talking about 1 week. I mean, psychologically, you're now programming people's brains to think this is a quick fix even more and more. And now you bring up a thing showing what people's bodies look like in 1 week. Like, come on.
Isn't it funny how carnivores say this happened to me in a week or this happened to me in 30 days and they go, you're crazy. You're nuts. I could never do that. You know?
But no one ever questions a medical or pharmaceutical thing and says, oh, look, 30 days and you got this, or 1 week and you got this.
No kidding. Right. And then, glucagon like peptide 1. Interesting. Right. Look at that. So, all these peptides, they have trade-offs and they have and hey, look what they'll probably start doing. I mean, look at this. I hope they don't hear me with this, but we're going to 3D print this meat. We're going to put 15 peptides in there. You just have to eat this. This is all good there. You can see where this is going. Like, oh, included in your protein shake, peptide, blah, 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 peptide, blah, 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 blah. Why don't you just eat real, ancestral, proper human protein and maybe all your peptides will work properly? Like that's, call me crazy, this nut bar carnivore that's eating a species specific diet, Oh man.
And I mean, when you just have a look, if someone was just doing research and you have a look where they talk about like the safety of peptides. So the same thing with anything else. It comes down to, okay, well, where are you getting your peptides for? Is it an online cheap thing, which could be potentially ineffective or contaminated? And then it should only be done by doctors or pharmaceuticals. And like we're saying, okay, what's in those things? Because they could have, I mean, it's the same with the vaccines. It's like and I know because I used to train a person that owned their own pharmacy. And it comes down to a fact as well, is that there's sometimes stuff in those vials that the doctors don't even know about. And at the end of the day,
really.
And if you look at the history of it and you have a look, it's like that all over. Because at the end of the day, they're obviously trying different things, different mixtures, whatever the case is. But at the same time, They only have a callback if there's a certain report or comeback over a certain percentage. But other than that, what happens?
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, the
And look
a
at
lady
where
I
the
used to
laws.
work with had medical issues,
Yeah.
muscular issues, and all that type of stuff. I mean, you could see it the way she walked in that, and she also only had it after she had a jab. So
Wow.
all these things that are made by pharmaceuticals are not. There's obviously stuff that will benefit certain people, but again, certain people that require the stuff. So there is that. But majority of people, if they just ate the right foods, what your body can process and work with naturally, and the way your DNA it was designed.
Yeah.
I mean, your body was sort of made to heal itself properly. So if we don't give it the right stuff, you always, and I don't know, like I said, I think peptides, if it's done the right way, it's a short-term solution, but ultimately you can't be taking it all the time. You still have to do the natural thing.
You'd think, right? And that's kind of the funny thing about it's almost like in the longevity space, when David Sinclair was like becoming this popular thing and living forever, he was saying, you got to do this, and then it was NMN, resveratrol, NAD plus. And for anybody that's interested, Dr. Abs did a really good talk on NAD plus and what it is. And anyway, you're taking all these things that should be happening naturally. And when your natural production gets suppressed, why? If you could actually live your life, your lifestyle and your diet and everything in synergy with nature, it all happens naturally. You don't have to do that. So it's almost like the biohacking, like for years ago, there was all these new things that were coming out and everybody must do it. You got to do it. And now I just see it with the peptides as well. Now it's like there's a peptide for everything, and it's crazy how this is taken over. And I just, my warning flags are everywhere. It's just like, okay, well, I feel pretty good for 50. I know, Mark, you probably feel pretty good for your age too. And Byron, like this is, and it's I think there's power in simplicity first. And, like, it's crazy how we're always jumping out ahead of everything. So I don't know, boys, what, someone comes up to you and says, hey, do you want to take this peptide? You'll be 6 inches taller, Mark. Why don't you do it?
I wish there was a peptide out there that would make me taller.
Well, I'm not much more, buddy. I can't reach the cups either, but I'm sitting here like, no. Yeah. But anyway, okay, boys, well, we're going to switch gears. Hey, Philip, love the chats, you guys. Anybody wants to mention anything about peptides in the chats? If you're interested in doing some peptides, I'd love to find out and hear your stories. I mean, I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying I'm going to be erring on the side of caution. I won't be going out to my clients saying you need this peptide right now. I'll be very, very cautious. So we're going to switch gears. Mark brought something to our attention today, and this is funny because I figured out this is a deep fake. Now, some deep fakes may be good. We're going to find out right now what this deep fake is. And give me a second here just to switch the stuff. But I think the message is sound, and we're going to get into it because I know for a fact Mark's had videos taken down. I've had videos taken down and strikes every single time we talk about this. So this is kind of cool how they staged it, and we'll get back to it. I think you guys will want to chime in on this one.
Breaking news in New York, a famous cancer researcher is going viral after she got arrested for saying this on stage. Take a look.
Doctors won't admit this publicly, but the number one secret to preventing cancer is not fasting, it's not vitamin D, and it's not even exercise. If you're over 40 and spent the last couple years eating fried foods, late night takeout, or processed snacks, there's a good chance your body has become the perfect breeding ground for cancer. Because junk food doesn't just make you gain weight, it poisons your cells. Every bite is loaded with seed oils, preservatives, and factory-made chemicals your body was never designed to consume. Over time, these toxins build up and trigger chronic inflammation, the silent fire that destroys everything. And when your cells stay inflamed for too long, they start to weaken, break down, and mutate. That's how cancer starts. Not with pain, not with warning, but with one damaged cell your body couldn't protect.
So that, I was watching that and I was like, I think that's AI generated, but I love the message. And then she goes
That's
on
what
about
that, and that's why I knew it was a fake, but what I liked about it was the message.
Absolutely.
The message, what she was saying. And this is where yourself and myself, Tony, get really annoyed, because when we talk about this, we get these pushbacks. So it's like the police are coming after us. They're trying to shut us. They're trying to shut us up. So it was the actual message. I knew fully well it was fake. I knew it wasn't real. It was the message.
But I loved it. I loved it that might be the place, because I'll tell you what, that would happen to us if we said that. You know, like,
but it's the same. But it's the same time as well. I don't know if you've watched a series of documentary as well. They had it, and you can still find it online, The Truth About Cancer as well. That they revealed a lot of things as well, and they also had big pushback. And then a lot of medical professionals that they had trained also had big pushback on a lot of stuff, where they healed and reversed a lot of people's cancers and sorted it all out with certain remedies, natural remedies that didn't include the big medical interventions that cost you almost your life just based on taking the medication that they give you. And at the end of the day, you're putting the stuff in your body, and the guys that are making it wear special suits. Like,
yes.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's the thing that I have, is that, like, even if what that lady was just saying isn't true, isn't it worth a listen? Like, isn't it worth to just take that in your head and marinate with it? Because it can't be good, right? Go ahead, Mark. Sorry, buddy.
No, I was just going to say, but what you just said there, Tony, what you just said there, can we add on the other video that I sent on to you so we can watch that as well?
If you guys keep talking, I might be able to.
Yeah, so I think I sent you on 2 videos, and I think this is important, because when we hear this first message and we've been told that this is what we should do, when we've been told, okay, this is just all nonsense, this is all crazy, we're going to show you guys another video of a guy that's actually has research in this. He's actually has evidence doing this. And he's been on podcasts. He's been explaining this on numerous podcasts, but he's getting the same problems. He's getting all this pushback. Now, what he says to me makes an awful lot of sense. A lot of sense. This is what we've been trying to speak about for the last year and a half. This is what pretty much everybody in the carnivore space is saying all this. But the problem is we're getting all this pushback because nobody believes it. Nobody believes that these diseases can be curable. None of them. But when you hear what this guy says, it's just, how can you argue against this? So hopefully we can get it up now and listen to it.
Yeah, keep talking, boys. Keep talking. I'll get it up. I'll get it up. This cancer.
What do you think, Byron?
Yeah, well, like I said, I used to many years ago. I mean, the stuff's been around for so long. But many years ago, I watched that whole series, Truth About Cancer. And there's doctors that have been healing people with stage 4 cancers using all natural sort of remedies and different things that they know, because they know what cancer is. And then there's even been shown at times, sometimes there's a certain, what is it? It's like a certain bacteria type thing that's in your body, and it gets shown, it comes up as cancer. And then they put you onto all this other drugs and medication, when if they treated that little bacteria, that you could solve the issue, and there were certain ways of doing it as well. But it's all a money-making scheme, because how much money are they making out of cancer, and how much money goes into the research?
Yeah.
But you always hear in some certain articles, these scientists made a breakthrough in curing cancer, this and that, but then you never ever see that come into light. And then why does the cancer continue to increase in the population?
And why does it keep coming back?
Yeah. So it's a matter of
it's like they go through chemo and then they're like, okay, it's resolved, but then 2 years later it just comes back.
But this is the thing, because they're not solving the underlying issue, and their lifestyle, it comes back. If you have a look at what chemo does, what the radiation does, it destroys your body's natural defense mechanism.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
as soon as the people are like cured, oh, this is all nice.
How cancer can be cured.
Comes back
I've
later.
had well over a dozen patients who went from stage.
Changed, but now it's even worse because their body's defense mechanism is not as strong as it used to be. It's way weaker. Your white blood cells have been destroyed. Your body's natural defense mechanism has been weakened, and especially with them not changing their lifestyle. Like I've seen people go for treatments that I know, and you see them all, hey, they're happy, everything's, and I'm happy for them. But a few weeks later, I see pictures of them online, and they're drinking beer, and they're drinking this and that, and I'm like, guys, it's a matter of time before you're going to have bad news again. And that's not negative, but you can't carry on with the same lifestyle that got you there in the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and just for the record, we've got some new technology advancements right now. I got 2 screens going. I've got like this upload for Mark, like on the fly. People, you might not realize, but this is a huge technology advancement for me. Like this is pretty good. So we got this video. So let's watch it, and then we'll talk about it.
I have seen how cancer can be cured. I've had well over a dozen patients who went from stage 4 to stage 0. My own mother, at the age of 80, had endometrial cancer, a cancer of the lining of the uterus, spread everywhere. Stage 4, game over type of treatment. She was 80. Her oncologist told me the treatment would be worse than the disease. Why don't you take her on a cruise, while she's still feeling well, and enjoy some time with your mom? And I looked at him in the eye and I'm like, do you know what I do for a living? So we got her at the time on a brand new immunotherapy, jacks up your own immune system. All right. And for my mom, we used diet. We optimized her gut microbiome. We gave her medicines and foods to lower inflammation. And remarkably, she had 3 infusions of this immunotherapy. Each of them took 20 minutes. They were spaced 3 weeks apart. So we scanned her at the very beginning, cancer everywhere, liver, lung, you name it. At the end of week 3, we rescanned her, 0. And that was a decade ago. And, I just had dinner with her the other night. A lot of people don't know this. Only 5 to 10% of cancers are due to genetics. The rest is due to environment, diet, and lifestyle. And when I started out, we just viewed cancer as a problem in an organ with a mutation where the cells go wild. And pretty much you have to destroy the tumor, the cancer, if you want to treat it, hopefully successfully. But usually it wasn't successful. It might work for a little while, but usually the cancer will come back and kill you. We're moving away from killing the cancer to healing the person.
Nails it. He just nails it.
And the thing is regardless of what it is, everything that he said there about diet and lifestyle are all part of it. And, in the modern medical system, it's treat the thing, instead of trying to heal the body. So whatever walk of life, whatever thing you support, can't we just all decide or agree on the fact that there's certain lifestyle dietary interventions that are probably necessary to do whatever treatment you're doing? You know what I mean? To encourage healing.
But that's the thing. Why can't we not just try these things? Why is there a pushback about what we talk about? This is what I just don't. This is what I don't get. This is what really makes me angry. It's like you guys are right and we're wrong. So what we're saying about people resolving their own health, healing their own body, we're just talking rubbish. None of this actually happens. Like this is what really, really frustrates me.
Yeah, if you look at that, I don't know if you, Tony, I sent you something on WhatsApp.
I do. I'm not that advanced yet, buddy, but we'll put it up here. You can see the graph, and Byron, you can walk us through it.
So if you look at that from an episode that I was watching, a guy showing, and he's going through, this is the reports that they put out. So you can find those reports online. If you look at the amount of deaths that are happening there, just look at the money.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy. So
you look at all those treatments that would happen.
Yeah.
And you think about it, like I remember, Shem, very good people. They were at the gym where I used to work many years back, and the son ended up getting like a seriously bad form of cancer. And the stuff he went through, and the what the treatment did to him made him have like his skin condition became so bad it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you hear how much it cost, so how much the medical insurances and all that pay for it, and then in the end, it didn't help except make those last moments like not really a good living condition.
No.
And you just like, if you look at the underlying cause of death and you look at it like heart disease is the first one and then cancer. This is 2024 results.
Yeah.
So like 619,000 number of deaths in 2024 just of cancer.
Yeah.
You times that by the money it cost for those cancer treatments, if majority of those people went on cancer treatments initially.
Yeah.
Like,
and guys like that doctor, Mark, I can't remember his name, but he's whatever he stands with, the interventions from a dietary perspective they're not crazy. I think one of them actually might even be dark chocolate. I think I've seen a lot from him, and it's interesting how we have doctors like Dr. Thomas Seyfried talking about cancer as a metabolic disease, and the people that should be listening aren't. You know what I mean? Like this is not taking away from what's happening. It's just including it. You know, like that deep fake thing that we just saw back there. They're talking about the stuff that we're all consuming with unawareness. Like we just assume red dye. We know red dye 40 is completely toxic, but when you're reading an ingredient, you're like, why would these food companies put this shit in the food if it was bad for me? It can't be bad.
And you look at the health system and the support that we have for these people that are going through these problems. They're not getting any help at all. None. Like if they're going to change their diet, then the information they're getting is wrong. It's actually making it worse. So, like, where can they get the help? Like everywhere they go, it's making the situation worse. They're not getting the help that they need.
And regardless of, you know, what you mentioned, Byron, earlier too, was like, you just mentioned the first two. Number 3 is medical error. That's creepy. And that's usually a stat that's not included in those, because they'll say that this is the leading cause of death in health related issues. Medical error, you could argue that's not a health related issue. That's a, you know.
And how many people, when you have a look at what's come out with people in interviews, were wrongly diagnosed for cancer and then had to go through all that treatment. Now your body's permanently stuffed up. Yeah. And it's like, where's the recourse for that? They don't get anything back. No one's held accountable. Maybe there's a small payment. Oh, sorry. But that person's body's now stuffed for the rest of their life. You've destroyed their defense mechanism, like almost permanently. Yeah. And there's no follow-up. There's nothing back there to try and help them.
That was the same. That was the same situation when we spoke to Krista. I don't know if you heard Krista's story, Byron. It was the same thing. These people were like, "Okay, well, it just happened. We apologize. There's nothing we can do. These things happen. These things just happen." Like, you almost killed this woman, and you're coming out with this rubbish that we're sorry. Like, honestly, and yet, it's incredible.
Yet if any of us do something like that where we're trying to help someone,
you'd be in prison.
But
it's freaky because I've got my aunt Sandy, who's my mom's best friend, going through hell right now. And everybody, I'm sure, like, I don't want to get into too much of the turbo cancer stuff, but everybody has this affects every single person on the planet. And we can't even have a fucking conversation about natural interventions and natural healing remedies and holistic, like, holy shit, man. I'd be fasting, I'd be humming, I'd be, you know, like, eating as much like natural food as best, like maybe intervening with this homeopathy, maybe some natural herbs that are, you know, like ancestral remedies. You know what I mean? I'd be trying the holistic way. Why aren't we able to talk about it?
I'd be the same as you, Tony. If I was on death's bed and I was like, okay, it's getting very, very close now, I would be doing whatever it takes. I'd be like, okay, hang on a second. Before I go down this route, surely there must be something that I can do. I would be on the internet and I would be researching. I would be researching for hours until I find another solution. And if I came across the carnivore diet and I never knew what the carnivore diet was, and I heard all these amazing testimonials, you can be damn sure if I only have to eat red meat and water for the rest of my life, I'm gonna jump on it straight away.
And the problem is people, when you're in that loop, and I've seen this, we've all seen this. We've all been witnessing people just getting degrading away in a hospital situation, going to doctors, therapies, poked, prodded. And by the time you mention this, it's too late. You're put in a box. Your fear is ramped up. You're plugged into a system that how are you going to come and say, hey, there's a way to maybe help you? People are like, they don't want to hear about it. They're like, now I got to sacrifice all my, and it's weird how we look at it that way. What do you mean suffer with a strict diet? Like, people freak out when they say, "Oh, I can never eat that for just that for that long." But what if you had to? Mm-hmm. You know, they're telling you have to do these drugs. You have to do this thing or you're going to die. Well, what are you trying to do here? You know, it's crazy. And I know how you guys feel about this because I have a talk about this and the video gets taken down. Mm-hmm. Or I get a strike on my channel.
It's incredibly frustrating because I'm the same. Every time I put a video up of something like this on TikTok, I get a warning straight away. It just gets taken down, and I'm like, why? Give me one good reason what I said is wrong.
Lisa nailed it right here.
It's one thing to take down, let's say, not a medical professional, is media content because it's whatever they want to call it. But when there is a medical professional that posts something that's not what big pharma want or money industry, whatever you want to call them, but when they post something and they show things where they healing people of cancer through their natural remedies, through their certain things, it's the same as like vitamin C. We know people don't understand how important vitamin C is, especially if you're not eating the correct foods. Mm-hmm. But there's doctors that cure so many people when they get injections of vitamin C, and I'm talking about like decent doses.
Yeah.
And they're sorting these things out. Sure. But you never see that making the mainstream media either, and you never see it anything. But if a medical professional posts something, oh, look, I've done this and that, their license gets threatened, this and that. So to me, when you see something like that, and then all of a sudden, oh, that guy's been discredited or this and that, why aren't people asking questions when the people have got evidence showing things are working, and then you have the big industry come and shut that down? Surely people need to think a little bit and say, okay, why are they shutting it down if they're showing it's working?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Why can't we not just work together on this?
Yeah.
Why is there a pushback against us? Why is there's not just us. We have doctors in this space, Ken Berry, Sean Baker. These people are experts in their fields. Why are we not listening to these people? I mean, if you don't want to listen to me, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But there's other people out there that are more qualified than me that know this area better than I do. They've been promoting this for such a long time, and they're still not getting the attraction that they need.
Here's the thing. If I told you guys, listen, it looks like cancer might feed on sugar. Maybe cut the sugar and see what happens. Mm-hmm. How fucking hard is that to listen to? Okay, if it's happening to me, I'm listening. Whoa, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that's what it needs to possibly metastasize and spread? Maybe cut out off its fuel source? Wow, that's ridiculous. Don't be stupid. It's not sugar. Keep eating ice cream. That's where I'm like
that's where I can't get my head around it. Yeah, I just can't get my head around. It's like none of this has any nutritional value whatsoever.
And then you tie it into, well, you need carbohydrates. Well, you don't.
Yeah, I just don't get it. It's like,
right?
It's like all this food that you're telling me to eat in moderation, none of it has any nutritional value whatsoever. but I'm allowed to eat this in moderation.
Yeah.
It's
So
honestly, it just does not make sense.
we just had Eddie Roki on that interview that we did earlier. Well, he came on for a conversation more like, and he was calling out the bullshit with the carbohydrates. Okay, just that alone. Carbohydrates fuel cancer. Oh, you should add carbohydrates back in because you need them. Well, that argument falls flat on its face if you're suffering from cancer. And that's just am I crazy? Like this is not and we can't even talk about this. You know what? Holy shit.
So the foods that caused you damage in the past.
Yeah.
He's saying forget about all that.
Yeah.
That wasn't the issue. Add them back in.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's
you're the researcher, Tony. This is what happened. This is what happened to you. But he's telling you, like, listen, you're a liar. You did it wrong.
Yeah. And the holier than thou, perfectly optimal health, arguably athletic lifestyle people telling you that it's okay, but yet the people that are suffering from all the damage that they've done for 30, 40 years should just include them back in again. Like that's what it comes down to. And I mean, the cancer side of it is Dr. Thomas. I've known about Dr. Thomas Seyfried now for almost 6 years. I've read his book. This is fascinating shit. And I don't know why he's not a household name. Like that's the problem I have with it. And it's crazy.
But the other thing, Tony, is that all these things are there. And this is where, if I was that way inclined, it's obviously a different scenario, but all these other medical professionals and all these other people that are fighting for people's health and wellness the correct way, and all, like I said, there's so many roads to the same destination.
Yeah.
But in order for people not to get to the destination, what are the monies or the powers that be do is they create everybody to argue this is the best way. That's the best route. That's the best route. And then at the end of the day, no one takes the route to get to the destination because they're so busy arguing about which is the right route to get to the destination.
Yeah.
And they don't do the damage. They just create the confusion and they let everybody else on social media and that cause the damage. So everybody's so focused on fighting over, like, this is the right diet. That's the right diet. That's good for your body.
Yeah.
No one's actually focused on the actual main result, and that's people's health. Like,
exactly.
Instead of all saying, okay, that's good, that will work. If that works for you, well, let's do it until you get to a point where you might need to change it.
And you know, you saying that, like, Mark, we've said this before, how many interviews now have we done? How many people have we met, Byron included, that have done the impossible, that have done things that were not supposed to be able to be done by switching their fucking diet?
And this is what I don't understand, because everybody will say that this is the best diet. I have no issues with that, but come on here and prove to me that this is the best diet. You come on here and you tell me that the vegan diet has cured so many diseases.
No,
if you can provide all that evidence to me, then okay, I'll listen. But this is the problem right here. You can't provide that evidence. You're only going off research.
And then
I don't give a shit about your research.
You've lived it. So try and convince you that it's wrong, because I'm the same way. I know Byron's the same way. I know Peter's the same way. You tell a type 1 diabetic to incorporate carbohydrates back in when he's got his shit under control and has had it for 3 years and is well ahead of what you're supposed to do. Tell him he should be doing this. It doesn't make a lick of sense. And that's
even now, like you look at it now, like we went on holiday like about a month ago, and I ate pretty well. I mean, going to Turkey, they don't really have a lot of beef to offer where we were. Like, it came out for 2 nights of the week, and I was like, frick, this is like Christmas. But it had mainly chicken and turkey with other stuff, and like you try to eat just mainly proteins. But then you eat some of that crap in your food, you mix it back in a little bit, and straight away you can feel like my vision issues started to come back. You feel shit, you feel bloated, and you can feel just your energy levels are not the same, even if you're still having a lot of protein. But the mere fact that your immune system's already been affected by eating that crap food with all the ingredients that are in it, and certain things will affect you, certain things won't. But you can see it. So at the end of the day, it's the same as some people can still drink coffee. I mean, I stopped coffee for 3 months and I felt a huge difference, and I could see it in certain skin issues.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like since that holiday, a bit of coffee again, and you can feel what it does to the body. So you still try to reduce it. And at the end of the day, it's like if something's working for you, then do it. But do it. And what's irritating as well is that people aren't understanding it's not going to stay the same for the rest of your life because your body adapts and changes. As you guys have said many times as well, you start on this journey, whatever journey it is, whether you go vegan for a while or you go carnivore for a while, but you're going to get to a point where your body's now, it's past a stage of healing, and now you need to change it up. So let's say someone goes vegan initially, they cut out all their processed crap. You're going to get to a point like many of the other vegans have. Then eventually they're getting sick because now your body's done its certain stage of healing. And then they realize, okay, this is not working.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually getting sick again because there's other things that are coming into.
And apparently Russell, I haven't looked into it, but Russell Brand had Paul Saladino on, and Russell Brand So that's good. Like I'm he was never one of those vegans that was a fanatic. He was always pretty good about it. I don't care what you do. I'm just doing this. But now he said, like, I just saw a couple clips. I haven't watched the whole thing. He's like, look, I've got a 6-pack. This is insane. I'm eating meat. It's like, yeah, man, like that's surprise, buddy, but it's nice to see somebody that's in that coming back to it. And I know in the spiritual community, I think Billy Carson switched over too. Like he's eating meat again now, or anyway, because he got pretty sick. So it's true. And it's what you're saying, Byron.
And the thing is this, Tony, like we've said this before as well. So many vegans are going towards carnivore. So many. We've interviewed many of them.
Or at
many
least adding
of them.
Meat back
nobody goes the other direction.
No.
Nobody ever goes from. I've never heard one person tell me that, but they were on a carnivore diet and they went to vegan.
And
never.
You're right. And Byron, what you're saying about adapting, like I'm doing a challenge with my clients, my family, and my friends. Right now I'm on day 8 of a 21-day challenge. It's only beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I eat this all the time, but I'll tell you what, cutting out the spices, cutting out the dairy, cutting out the cheese makes a difference. Already my body is responding, and I've been eating this way for almost 5 years now. Still getting back and tightening it up for a certain amount of time gets everything into perspective, and everybody that's sort of doing it is having their own sort of adventures. But it's just, I don't have to do it, but it's nice to do something to see the difference. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't realize the cheese calls me. I'm cooking eggs. I'm like, oh, I'm going to shred some cheese on there. Nope, you're not.
The thing, the body changes over time. I mean, as you know, when you've been carnivore for a month or 2 or 3, you're eating a certain amount of meat, you're eating a certain amount of stuff. But once you've been carnivore for over a year or 2 years or 3 years, your consumption of the protein is going to be totally different to what it was when you first started, because your body's done an adaptation and it's changed. I mean, a lot of the guys are, I can't eat as much as that. Or you look at some of those eating and they like lean and they're looking good, but they're eating like so much. It's like, wow. I watched a video yesterday. You've probably heard of them, the 2 buff dudes or whatever they call.
Yeah.
And they went this full carnivore style for a week.
Yeah.
And that one just ate eggs. Like he ate like 26 eggs or 29 eggs a day. And the other one ate meat and mixed it a bit. They came back at the end of it and they'd leaned up and lost, but they still ate like a lot of calories, if you want to count calories. And they still look good, and they couldn't understand it. And it's because straight away you don't understand the thermodynamics.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. I've been like, I talk about myself being able to eat intuitively. I don't really count anything. I just kind of eyeball it, cook it. I usually cook a little bit more. Well, last night, because during the challenge, I've got some people that are dipping their toes in the carnivore space for the first time. They're cutting out it's awesome. It's neat to see. But one of my clients was like, well, what about the calories? I know calories. Okay, but I'm going to show you something. So what I did was I eyeballed my amount of meat, and I was just going to eat steak yesterday. So I threw out my steak on the counter, and I was like, okay, let's weigh this to see where this sort of lines up. It was about 2 pounds of meat. I did the fat because it was a sirloin with the fat cap. I cut the fat off, weighed the fat. Everything checked out. It was about 2,400 calories. I was at about 2-to-1 ratio calorically fat to protein. and it was about 170-ish grams of protein. I'm like, oh my God, all the math just mathed. And this was complete intuition. And so I'm like, and then is that a high calorie? Because people look at that, oh my God, you're eating so much meat. It's high. It's bullshit.
But I'm the same, Tony. I eat like a lot of meat at the moment, and it's usually high in fats. And I don't track anything, but I know if I went out there and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this all into a maths equation, I can tell you right now, if we're going by calories, I'm eating in the excess of around 4, maybe 4,500 calories a day.
You're eating that, Mark.
Now I'm only 5'3", and I can tell you right now that's double my body weight in calories. So how come I'm walking around still with a 6-pack?
Yeah.
Like how? And I'm not even weighing my food.
Like I only ate one meal yesterday, and that was it. And when I did the caloric value, it was only 2,400 calories. So I usually eat more than that in a sitting, but I was just like, okay, we're just going to, this was an experiment. I'm like, and I ate until I was done, and I didn't finish it all. And then I ate the rest later. It was like, it doesn't have to be so complicated, man. And it's just,
and I'm not saying this works for everyone. I'm not saying that you should never ever track. No. I'm just saying what works for me. Over a period of time, I was tracking my food, but I'd say in the last 2 years, I lost interest. I was like, I don't think I need to do this anymore. My body knows how much I need to eat and when I need to stop. And that's the beauty of this. I don't need to track anything. I know what my body needs. I know when to stop. When my body tells me, okay, you've had enough. That's it. I'm done.
And I didn't eat any eggs. Go ahead, Byron.
Sorry, Tony. I just wanted to. You see, Mark, what you say though, and like we've said many times, and what you're saying there is so key. And I think the problem with the whole social media thing of trying to get lots of followers and trying to get lots of this, when the people are focused on that crap, instead of focus on touching one person's life and saying, okay, well, this is what helps me. This is what's helped so many other people. But at the same time, teaching people, learn how to listen to your body, because like we just said, we are all different. Maybe we need to eat like a shitload of steak for our body to perform well, but someone else might need to eat half that amount of steak, but they got to learn what works for them. And we're all different sizes. We all got different bone densities. We all got, everything's different. Our lifestyles, our stress levels, everything's so different. You got to learn what works for you. And that I think is key, is where everybody's trying to copy a generic template.
Yes.
And then it's okay, this doesn't work. In the beginning, it will work, but eventually you got to change as your body's adapting.
That's exactly why, Byron, they put all the caloric values on menus and above boards now. With every food you eat, you got a caloric value, because it makes it everybody's even playing field. It's like, well, now it gives you an excuse to eat less of it, and you're okay. As long as you can moderate and eat less of this pizza with this many calories, it's okay. It's bullshit.
And see, that's the problem as well, because when we look at the calorie model, we know when we look at carbohydrates and proteins, they equal it's 4 calories per gram. And then when you look at fats, it's 9 calories per gram. So from a maths equation, it makes sense. But from a hormonal standpoint, it doesn't make sense, because when you look at the hormones and insulin in particular, if your diet is low calorie but has an effect on insulin, and insulin is elevated on a regular basis, you're going to struggle to burn body fat over a long period of time. It's only going to be a short-term solution.
And the problem I have with the calorie situation, because also I tracked it at one stage long time ago, but when you eat more calories on a carnivore diet and you still get lean and you still manage to lose weight, all it does is back up the solution of, for sure, the calorie is not a calorie, because the calories in, calories out scenario tells me that a protein is a protein, which is the biggest bullshit ever.
Yeah.
A protein is not a protein. You can't take an animal, because then the 3D printed shit that they're making would be the same as a real life crap.
Or even a protein bar or a protein supplement. You cannot tell me that you're getting this. You cannot tell me you're getting the same amino acid profile from eating a protein bar.
And your body doesn't process it the same way. Your body doesn't absorb it the same way.
No.
So there's a lot of stories. Boys, we could probably go another day with the calorie bullshit. But anyway, I'm going to put out this video on my channel. And it's interesting how, because I haven't tracked or counted anything for a long time. And as soon as I did this on a basic, I was like, holy shit, it all mathed. And I was like, interesting how this works. And I mean, I'm a big proponent of intuitive eating, but I do believe you have to get there. It's not just something that, because we've been hijacked by all the modern bullshit that, you're so far from intuitive. And that's that carnivore clarity we often talk about, is like you start to realize that these foods affect you and you make the choices according to, like Byron said, listening to your body. So I think
but can I just add in one more point? This is the reason why what's going on with the influencers that are going back to carbohydrates. This is what really, really frustrates me, because they're saying, okay, the diet doesn't work, but you can clearly see they weren't adapted to the diet in the first place. Yeah. They were never adapted in the first place. There was always an addiction there in the background. Always.
And to me, like, if you're going to eat a high carb diet, well, then track your calories, because obviously we know that it can help that way. But that whole thing, when you come to that, the same thing. When I eventually say, okay, that's for interest's sake, according to these calorie counters, let's go count the calories that I'm eating. And I'm like, okay, according to them, I should be putting on weight, but my belt size went down. How does that make sense?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand the thermodynamics and how your body processes the different foods. Anyway.
I think I sent you an email a while back, Coach Mark, but we want to get Target Prime.
Okay, send me another email. Whatever it wasn't Tiger Prime Rib. Send me an email again, and I'll try.
Mark's a busy boy. He's got lots of shit going on. Well, boys, this one was a great time. Byron, thank you so much for stepping in for Peter. Peter will be back next week. We will be finding out what he's been crazily eating on his newest holiday. We'll see what he does. It's always been an adventure. But Byron, thanks for being here. We love your music. We love the support that you give us. We love that, man, that those tracks are awesome. Everybody listen to them. Byron, where do people find you?
Just Carnival Beats on TikTok and Carnival Beats YT on YouTube.
Go subscribe to his channel. Follow him, guys. He's one of us. And we really appreciate his help on the show. Mark.
You guys can find me on social media at fitnessbeyondtime01. And you can also send me an email at nsmark93@gmail.com. And I just want to add as well, I just finished a podcast with my other co-host, Victoria, on the Carnivore Evolution podcast. We interviewed a guy called Hal Cranmere. If you guys are not aware of who this guy is, I would highly, highly recommend you watch the podcast. It's absolutely incredible. This guy's story is inspiring. He's helping many, many people in care homes at the moment, and it's absolutely insane. So yeah, I would highly recommend you guys go over and have a listen to that.
And shout out to Victoria, because Mark and Victoria have been working on Carnivore Evolutions, and Victoria helps us out from time to time. Their podcast is great, and she's part of my challenge. She's in it. She's doing the 21 days. So we're excited to keep in touch with Victoria, and you guys do such great things. If anybody's interested in following me, I'm at Tony_Food for Thought on all platforms now. I'm getting my shit together. And join the fun. Subscribe to all the channels. Follow us. We do this every Sunday live, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK and Ireland, 7 p.m. in the Netherlands and Holland, or in Europe. Byron, thanks again for being here. We want to shout out to the carnivore community, because you guys are kicking ass. They're doing some great things. Just had Sean Baker on. Follow them on Instagram and YouTube, because we need the support with the algorithms, guys. I don't know about you guys, but we're getting algorithmic roadblocks at all, especially when we talk about the stuff we talk about. So we are united, and we want to send this message out. We don't care about strikes. We don't care about what they say. We care about how you feel. And, maybe you can listen to a different side and find out an opinion. And hopefully this hits somebody that makes a difference. So we will see you all next Sunday for sure. I think we're going to be talking about some hormones. We got the endometriosis stuff that I'm working on that's going to be coming out. We got a couple interviews scheduled. Stick around, be here. We love you. Thanks for all the comments, for all the people here in the comments today. Rick, you're the man. We will talk to you next Sunday.
Is sick and fucking tired of seeing all the carnivore shit all over these fucking apps.